Hi, it's Jeff Sass, CMO of .art Registry. I'm here at Collaboartive, a collective art studio with dedicated art space here in Miami, and I'm about to give a demonstration and workshop on ID.art and our also free portfolio builder at .art Domains. You can check out more information at www.get.art.
Blackwell-Font. I'm the co-founder of Collaboartive here in Miami in the Bird Road Art District. We're a nonprofit arts organization providing resources and studios for visual artists in our community. And we're excited to have Art.art here today partnering with us to do a workshop so we can help achieve our mission of getting artists closer to their practice in a professional way.
Hello, I'm Jeff Sass, the CMO of .art Registry, and I'm here at Collaboartive in Miami, where we're going to do a little workshop on .art's portfolio website builder and the new ID.art platform that we've created. So this will be a fun workshop and presentation on how those things work. I'm going to first tell you a little bit about .art, so we'll get started. So .art is the registry operator for the domain extension .art. So instead of .com or .biz or .org, you can get a domain name that ends in .art. And we also have many other services that we'll be talking about to support the art community and really be the registry for all things art and cultural objects. So not just the domain name side, but with .art, you can register any cultural object, and we'll talk more about that in a few moments. We have over 250,000 registrants of .art domain names. Over 40% of them are using it as their primary web address, which is great, and a lot of fantastic businesses from museums and galleries to individual artists to institutions, really representing all aspects of the art world using a .art domain. When it comes to domain names, there are standard domains, and then there are higher priced premium domains, and those can be anywhere from $70 to $100,000 for the first year on a premium name, but they renew at a low price. We've done over $9 million in sales of premium names from the company's inception. One other interesting thing about .art domains is that we're connected to Web3. So the same .art domain can work in the traditional web and also in Web3. So you could connect it to a crypto wallet or something in the Web3 world. And I'll talk more about that in a few minutes as well. We have a patented digital twin process where you can store the object ID information for a work of art in the public whois records. And it's a great way to protect the provenance of a work of art. We'll talk more about that. And then everything we do is supporting the Art Therapy Initiative. This is our charitable efforts around spreading the awareness and access to art therapy. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that as well. So our mission really is to empower the art world in the digital age. So as we talked about, it's not just about being the domain name registry, but it's really about bringing all of the digital tools and services available to support anyone in the art world and really give them the tools to protect the provenance, protection, and the promotion and monetization of their works of art and cultural objects. So we launched 6 years ago, and we just celebrated our 6th birthday. And I'm going to play a little video that highlights some of the people using a .art domain and plays a little bit with some nice AI leveraging .art. So this is a great little introduction to .art through our 1-minute birthday video.
Happy birthday, .art.
happybirthday.art.
So that was fun. Those are some great adopters of .art, and of course, some famous artists wishing us a happy birthday, thanks to the power and creativity of AI. I mentioned the Art Therapy Initiative, and I want to tell the story behind art therapy. It's something that's very close to the .art family, and actually, this scarf I have in my pocket is an image that was painted by Olvi Kasimov, the founder of .art, and his family during the COVID lockdown. So his entire family gathered around a canvas, you could see a picture of it there, and painted this image together. And it was Olvi's wife who had this idea that they could use this image to raise money to support the medics who were dealing with the COVID crisis. And they turned it into really a campaign called Flowers for Hope. And they actually got other artists to donate images of flowers. They had about 75 paintings of flowers that were donated, and they had a charity auction and raised over $7 million from the sale of those paintings. And that money went to half to the medics who were dealing with COVID and half to struggling artists who also needed help during this crazy time. So that was a very successful campaign, leveraging this image, Flowers for Hope. And that was really the inspiration for the Art Therapy Initiative. I think Olvi and his family realized that in this stressful time, and there's no question we're living in stressful times, people need help. And not everyone has access to high-cost therapists and medications and other things. But art therapy is a proven practice, and it's very accessible to everyone. In fact, there are doctors in the UK now who are prescribing museum visits to their patients to relieve stress and anxiety by visiting a museum. So art therapy is really important at this time. And so we've committed to use a portion of our revenue from the sale of .art domains to support the Art Therapy Initiative. And the first big thing we did was commit to $1 million scholarship fund at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. They have one of the oldest art therapy programs in the country. It's over 60 years old. And so we're supporting a scholarship program for graduate studies in art therapy there. And we're doing a lot of other things to support and promote art therapy in museums and elsewhere. So the Art Therapy Initiative is something that's very close to us. It's also very close to the Kasimov family, Olvi's daughter, Medina, and you'll see some of her artwork in a little while. She had some challenges from birth that affected her communication skills. And as she's a young woman now in her 20s, she's really developed into a very talented artist. And she literally found her voice through her art. So the therapeutic benefits of art is something that's very close to the Kasimov and .art family. And so we're very happy that everything that you might be doing to support .art is also supporting the Art Therapy Initiative. So we're very proud of that, and it's very important to us. Why do creatives choose a .art domain? So there's many things you can do with a .art domain. Of course, it's a great domain for your digital showcase. So if you're an artist, if you're involved in the art world, having a .art domain makes it clear and declares your role as part of the art world. Brand reinforcement, if you have a business and you're involved in any way in supporting the arts, whether it's part of your business or something that you do charitably or to support your community, you can leverage that .art name to reinforce your brand as something that's related to the arts. Trust and integrity comes behind the .art domain, where the official ICANN authorized registry operator for .art. We have a monopoly on the .art name, and so you know you can trust that .art is legit and comes from us and represents .art. As I mentioned before, .art domains are future-proof. It's an asset that can be used in both Web 2 and Web 3. So as the world evolves and as you start dabbling in digital art and Web 3 and blockchain technologies, your .art domain can work in both worlds. And I'll demonstrate an example of how that works in a few minutes. And then digital identity management. We provide tools like ID.art that I'm going to be demonstrating today that really help you take control of your digital identity, manage all of your digital assets across all different platforms, and really make .art the center of your digital dashboard, so to speak. I talked about digital identity and why it's important to use .art. There's a lot of SEO benefits when you use a .art domain if you're involved in the art world. For example, janedoe.com could be anything. We don't know what Jane does. We don't know who she is. But janedoe.art clearly is the artist Jane Doe, or the Jane Doe that's involved with the arts. So if someone is searching for Jane Doe, the artist, the .art name is going to come up first. There's a lot of benefits to that. Same thing with the business. Plaza.com could be anything. There's a million different meanings to the word plaza.art. You're immediately going to think about the art supply store Plaza that's involved in the art world. So there's a lot of benefits to using a .art domain, and you don't have to use it as your primary domain name. You can redirect it to your primary domain. You could use it for marketing campaigns. There's a lot of different use cases, which we'll talk about in a few moments. And on the future-proof side, I mentioned that a .art domain, unlike other Web3 domains, works in all different ways. You can use it traditionally on the web. You can use it as an ENS name. You can connect it to your wallet. You can leverage other activities with it that you can't do with other so-called blockchain domains. So .art is future-proof. I talked about different ways you can use a .art. So you can use it as your primary website, simplify.art does. So that's their brand. That's their primary brand. You can use it for special art projects like Porsche does. So Porsche.art has a separate website where they profile a lot of the art installations and art initiatives that Porsche as a brand has been involved in. So they created a whole separate website at Porsche.art. It's really cool. You should take a look at it. You can use it to redirect to your existing homepage, like LACMA, the Los Angeles Museum does. LACMA.art redirects to LACMA.org. But again, they have the benefit of SEO. And if they're doing a particular campaign, they can promote LACMA.art, because LACMA could stand for a lot of different things. LACMA.art can only stand for the Art Museum. You can also use .art to link to content within your website about your art-related activities. So Bank of America is a good example. Bank of America, big website, bankofamerica.com. They actually have a whole section on their website about their art-related activities. So they're very involved in the arts and supporting some of their clients who invest in art, et cetera. So if you go to bofa.art, it takes you to that section of their website. So it's basically a shortcut to all of their art-related activities. So that's another use case. Of course, if you're an artist, it's great to use a .art name for your portfolio website, like Medina.art does. And we have a free portfolio website builder, which I'll be demonstrating in a few minutes. Of course, like any domain name, you can use it for your email address, anyday.art. Very great, very memorable email address. If you're an artist, someone gets that email, they're going to recognize you, you're going to stand out and make a statement about yourself by using that .art domain as your email address. E-commerce, so if you want to set up a site where you want to offer and sell your art, your .art domain can be part of your e-commerce business, like artily.art does. Also, many artists use social media as their platform. They put a lot of their art up on Instagram, et cetera. You can use your .art domain to redirect to your Instagram page, for example. So instead of telling someone to search for you at Instagram, where they're going to see other people with similar names, they'll get distracted by other search results. You can tell them to just go to yourname.art, like Anna Dragomir does. Anna Dragomir.art links right to her Instagram page. So she just has to tell her community, go to that .art URL to find my Instagram page, and they get right there. It's like building a tunnel directly to your social media page by using your .art domain. So that's another great use case. So in all, those are just 8 examples of great ways you can use a .art domain. So just because you may have a domain already doesn't mean there's not a great opportunity to also add a .art domain to your portfolio and to your marketing activities. So let's talk a little bit about our free portfolio builder. And this comes with any .art domain that you might register over at www.get.art. And the free website builder is very easy to use. I'll show an example of it in a few minutes. We also have ID.art, which is our free digital dashboard. And ID.art is a really robust platform to manage the provenance, protection, and promotion and monetization of any cultural object. And we'll give a demonstration of that in a few moments as well. So let's talk about the free portfolio website builder. And I want to mention, I'm here at Collaborative, and at Get.art, if you use the code Collaborative, you can get up to 3 standard domains first year free, or 50% off a premium domain. And of course, they all come with this free website builder. So if you go to Get.art, make sure you use the code Collaborative. At Get.art, you can easily search for and find the domain name that you're looking for. And then once you choose your domain name, Make sure you use the code collaborative when you're checking out and apply that code to get that first year free or 50% off your premium name. And I should mention, standard domains renew at $12.88 a year, and premium names renew at about $40 per year. So even if you pay a few $100s for a premium name, the renewal will only be $40 per year. So it's a low renewal, regardless of what that first year price was for a premium name. And with our portfolio builder, you could choose from a number of different templates, and you can customize it a little bit and really set up your online portfolio in literally just a few moments. It's very easy to use. And I'll show it to you. We talked about some of these things, why you would use a .art website. Let me show you how it works. So this is get.art, which we just looked at. You can register your domain here. And if I go under my account to my client area, that's where I can manage. Click on the client area. This is where I can manage the websites for the domains I have. So I'm going to use my mom. I registered EvelynSass.art. That's my mother. She's 87 years old and still producing art. So I created a portfolio website for her, and I can manage that right from my dashboard. So if I go to edit website, there we are. So this is where you fill in all the information when you're setting up your portfolio website. So you could get your description, your about information. You can upload a photo of yourself. You can add any documents you may want to add. If you have a PDF or spreadsheet, your works of art, or anything else you want to add to your website, you can. And then you upload the images for your portfolio. And each image, you can name it, you can edit it, you can move. Okay, so we've got my mom's portfolio in its current form, and you can see each of these images I uploaded. This is work she did when she was 12 years old. Believe it or not, I grew up looking at these paintings all day, and then these are things she's done more recently. But obviously, you can click on any image, and then you can get to the page for that image, and you can put more information. You can title it. Then you can have your portfolio, your about section, where you can add information about yourself. I didn't put much in, but she started painting as a child. So you can have contact information. So you can do all this stuff. And let me go back to my client area. And so I can change. So if I want to just change the template, so I click change here, just showing you how easy it is. And you can change it on the fly. So this is what I'm using now. Let me change it to this metaverse style. Next, and let me change. I can have a, let's say I'll make it a black background just to show the difference here with the black sky. And then I can go ahead and preview it, and you'll see it automatically changed it to that design. It's loading. And there you see completely change it to a different style. So it's literally that easy to create your portfolio over at get.art. And again, I put limited information for my mom, but you can put as much information as you want. You can have an about section, your contact information, etc. You can add your social links. So you can have it linked to your Facebook and Twitter, etc. It's easy for people to share it by clicking the share button. So all of this is free, comes with your .art domain at get.art, very easy to use. So now I want to take you through ID.art. So ID.art, as I mentioned, is really a comprehensive digital platform for art and culture. So when you think about it, you can take any art object or cultural object, upload it to ID.art, and from there, you'll create your digital ID. You also get a portfolio website because you have your portfolio page that you can share on the web. We create a professional digital certificate of authentication for every work of art. There's IP rights protection built in. You can back it up on blockchain, so you have that immutable blockchain record of everything you've done. You can even mint NFTs very simply through the platform, which I'll show you. You can create an online V-card, and it's also very easy to manage your collection and actually share aspects of your collection and build individual collections from the different works of art you have. So it's a very robust platform. I should mention it's in its early stages. So we're in our alpha stage for ID.art. It's open to the public as an alpha stage. It's free right now. In the future, there may be some paid services added to it. And we're going to be launching the beta version very shortly. So it's in the early stages, but there's still quite a lot you can do, as we'll see. So if you go to ID.art right now, you'll notice it's in alpha testing, and you can just click Get Started and set up an account very simply. I'm going to go into my account and show you my dashboard. I apologize for being a little self-serving. I used my mother as an example for the portfolio website builder, and now I'm going to use my grandson, who's 9 years old, as an example for ID.art, just to show you how easy it is. This is the dashboard behind the scenes, and I'll show you what profiles look like publicly. But from this dashboard within ID.art, very easy to upload items. We call them digital twins because this is a digital version of something that might exist physically. And you can create a twin by just literally uploading anything from your hard drive as you would anytime. So if I wanted to add a new image from my grandson's collection, I think I have one here that I haven't used yet. Let's pick that. And it's going to upload this. And now I can add the artwork's title. I'm going to call this Colorful Monkey. That's what it looks like to me. I should have asked my grandson what he calls it, but it's going to be Colorful Monkey for the purposes of this demonstration. So there's Colorful Monkey. And then here's where you can fill in all the object ID information. And so we build these based on the Getty standards for object ID. So the next page. So you can fill in all the information about the work of art. So you can put in what type of object it is. We've got some things you can choose from, or you can enter your own. You put in who the maker is, the date, materials and techniques. Again, we've got some that you could just click on, or you can add your own. Measurements, if it's relevant, inscriptions and markings, any special features, subject, reference material, et cetera, et cetera. So all that information gets filled in here, and then that's saved. And I'm not going to bother with this one now, but I have it in for the others. And now you'll see that image is part of my portfolio here. So I'm going to take you through some of the other things that you can do here. So here is where you would upload or create a digital twin, and you can manage that information. You can set it public or private with this little eyeball here. So right now it's public. If I want to make it private, I can confirm it here. And now you'll see there's a little X on that eyeball, and now no one else can see that particular image. It's private. So you can control that right here. I'll give you an example of the certificate of authenticity that's created. So this is we could preview it, and you're able to customize it later, which I'll show you. But let's preview that certificate of authenticity. So this is created automatically, again, using the information that you've provided. There's a QR code for it. It's dated and timestamped, et cetera. And then you can make this publicly available, or you can make it on request, which I'll show you. So in other words, for someone to get the certificate of authenticity, they'd have to request it from you. So you have that option as well with the certificate of authenticity. Let me close this and go back here. And you can customize those certificates. I'll show you that in a little bit as well. Each individual work of art has its own dedicated webpage. So you saw in that certificate of authenticity, let me go back to it again and just show you real quick. You saw there's a URL right here. There's a website URL. So each work of art is assigned a number, and then that number becomes the URL at ID.art, and then you can customize it. So you can change that name. So if I wanted it to be the name of the work of art.id.art, you can do that. So every work of art has its own web page, and those are third-level domains. It's at ID.art, and therefore there's no costs involved. There's no annual renewal. So every work of art you update actually has its own dedicated web page, and we'll look at that in a few moments. And you can customize the name, but it's assigned that number automatically. Obviously, each item is also QR code is created automatically that links to the web page for that work of art. So again, this is going to the profile. You can share that very easily. So if you click the share button, you can put that in an email or share it with one of your social networks. You can download and save the QR code if you want to use it in other areas. So that's all created automatically. Let me go back. So that all happens automatically, and you could share this page. So you could see each of these items has a certificate of authenticity. You can also see if I've created an NFT. So if you look at Frank N. Stein, another one of my grandson's work of art, you can see that I actually have minted an NFT for this item. And if I click on that, we automatically upload the NFTs to OpenSea and Rarible. So if I click on OpenSea, just real quick, you'll see here we are in OpenSea. Here's that image. All of the information from the object ID information that we filled out when I uploaded that image is automatically posted to OpenSea. If I wanted to set a price or make this available for sale in OpenSea, I could do that 1, 2, 3 right from here. And that all happens automatically when you create an NFT within ID.art, and I'll show you that. So that's how you manage setting up your twins. Let me talk a little bit about collections. So collections are really cool too, because you can create a collection, and imagine you have a lot of works that you've uploaded. Maybe you've uploaded 100 or more images, and you want to submit a few of them to a gallery or an exhibition or a fair. You can create a collection. So if I add a new collection, I'm going to do a collection for my twins. So I can pick which items I want. So I'll pick the colorful monkey and the alien road trip and Frankenstein. So I want to make that into a collection. I'm going to call that Collaboartive, because I'm going to send that collection over to Jean and see if she wants to share this artwork over at Collaborative. So I can preview the collection. And then this is the collection here. And then if I want to share that collection, and now if I go to my collections, you should see here's the collaborative collection I just created. And if I want to share it, I can send an email with a link to just those images to anyone. If I want to do the QR code, here's a QR code, which will go to that collection. So I could send that QR code over to Jean, and I don't have to go search my hard drive for those images I wanted to share with Collaborative. I just check off the ones I want in the collection, and I can go ahead and share just that collection of images. So really easy to do, as you can see. So that's really cool on collections. And you can do NFT collections too. NFTs, I'm going to go into the NFT area, and as you can see, these are the NFTs I've already created. And as I showed you before, they're automatically sent to OpenSea and Rarible. If I want to delete or burn that NFT here, I can do it from here. If I want to mint additional ones, you can mint more NFTs of the same item. You can mint as many as you want. So I can do that right from my control panel here, but there's also another section which we'll look at and go through the process of minting an NFT in a few moments. Also from my control panel, I can manage domains. So if I want to attach a domain name to one of those works of art, so instead of that random number.id.art, I want to attach a domain name to it. You can manage that all from here. You can even register a new domain. And if I register a domain for a twin, it can actually, if I choose it, so let's choose Alien Road Trip, and you'll see that it'll actually search for an appropriate name for Alien Road Trip over at get.art. And sure enough, alienroadtrip.art is available. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and register that domain. I could use the code Collaborative and get it for free. And then I can assign that to Alien Road Trip so that when someone went to alienroadtrip.art, it would get right to the web page that we just created for that image. So all of that can be managed right from your control panels. Let me go back to the control panel here. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So domains, and then of course, here's where you can manage the status of each of your items in your assets. So here is where you can set pricing. So if you want things to be for sale, so for example, let's go back to Alien Road Trip. Right now it's not for sale. If I tick that, now it'll show up for sale. I can choose the currency. Right now you can choose dollars or euros, and I can set the price. My grandson's art, so it's got to be a high price. I'm going to set $5,000, right? $5,000 for that work of art. Then when I save this and confirm it, now if we go back to my twins and look at them again, you should see there it is. It's available for $5,000. So when someone comes to view that in my profile, they'll see the price, and we'll show how that works in a minute. So actually, if I go to it right now, this is where you can go and edit more information. The other thing I'll mention when you go to manage your twin is here's all the things you can add. So you can add the description, of course. You can add the metadata, which is the object, the information. You can add additional photos, right? And I'll show you an example of an artist who put sketches and videos of them creating the work of art. So all of that can be added to that web page. I'll show you an example. So you can add videos, you can add files, as I mentioned earlier. You can manage your certificate of authenticity. You can make it available for download or not. And you can manage all the ways to buy it here from that dashboard as well. Let me go back.
Really simplifies the whole process.
As you can see how easy it is to do. So if I go back to the status real quick too, You can also choose to not put it on sale, but make it price available on request. So if I switch it to price available on request and confirm that, now if we go back to look at it on my twins, you'll see price available on request. If we go to that page, you'll see a button that you can click to contact the artist, and I'll show you some examples. So all of this can be managed from your My Assets section of your control panel. You can also go on the side here, and so we already showed you how to complete your profile. You can fill in that additional information we just went through. You can also manage your domains from here, as I just showed you. You can do that from right there. Some other services which are pretty cool is creating a collection. We did that. Let's go through minting an NFT, which we didn't demonstrate yet. Creating a collection you already saw. Let's mint an NFT. So to show you how easy it is, I'm going to mint an NFT for these twins. I'm going to choose some. Let's do the colorful monkey, which I haven't done yet, and big mouth. I'm going to do that. So now, this is interesting. In order to create an NFT, you have to connect your crypto wallet because that your NFT is connected to your wallet. So I mentioned earlier that .art domains work in ENS and DNS. So one of the questions we get a lot is, what can I do with it in ENS? One of the things you can do is attach your domain name to your wallet address. If you're familiar with a crypto wallet, that the wallet address is OX, blah, blah, blah. It's a long number that's hard to remember. And it's something that makes people a little bit nervous because it's this long number. And if you make one mistake in the number, you're sending your money to someone else and there's no way to recover it. So you can actually connect your domain name to your wallet. So I've connected my jeffsass.art domain name to my MetaMask wallet. So now if I want to connect my wallet to mint the NFT, instead of having to enter this OX2E blah, blah, blah number like it asks for, I can actually just type in jeffsass.art, which is my domain name, and then click next, and boom, my wallet is now connected. So I didn't have to know that number, so my domain name is connected. So I'm going to create a new NFT collection. I'm going to call it Cool Art. Just for now, it's simple. And then I'm going to decide how many NFTs I want for each one. So I'm going to make 2 of each, for example. So I set that to, set to all. You'll see I'm going to mint 2 NFTs of each of these images. Click next. And here's where you get to choose which network you want to use because prices vary. As you can see right here, Ethereum, it's going to cost me $22 right now, the gas charges, right? Binance is only going to charge 52 cents, right? So I would choose that. Binance, obviously. And you can mint this with your credit card. So you don't need to use crypto to pay it. So when I click payment options, I can go ahead and mint these NFTs for 52 cents with my credit card. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Show you the process, how simple it is. So it's loading. Here we go. So I've got a stored credit card in my account. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed to checkout. Use that stored. So I'm going to pay 52 cents. And I've just minted the NFTs. It may take a little while before they show up in the account, and that varies depending on the network activity at those particular networks. So we can come back and look for that in a few minutes. We'll see if they're there. Let's see if I go into my NFTs now. Yeah, so it's not there yet. So we'll come back in a few minutes. It takes a few minutes. But that's how easy it is to mint NFTs and manage the NFTs. And as I showed you before, they go right into OpenSea and Rarible where I can do more there. Some other services you can do from here is protect your IP rights, which is interesting. So we're going to offer a service where you can back up all this information on the blockchain. That way it's immutable and we keep a record of it. So you can choose which item you want to do. So I'm just going to, just as an example here, I'm not going to proceed, but we'll do that. And then this information for $50 for 10 years, so $5 a year. This will be backed up to the blockchain, so it's immutable. Any transactions will be tracked there, and that's the IP protection service you can do. And we'll be adding more IP protection services in the future, because one of the things, again, we want to manage with ID.art is give you the ability to really take care of the provenance, the protection, the promotion, and monetization of all of your artwork, right? So all from this one platform. I mentioned before that you can customize your certificate of authenticity. I don't know, I like Alien Road Trip. So I'll keep with Alien Road Trip. It's one of my favorite works my grandson has created. So this was the default one we saw before. I can change the orientation of it. I can change the size of the paper. I can change the background from white to gray. And I can add some additional information. I can upload my logo. I can put some text next to it. I can put other information. I can add a signature. So there's a lot of different ways I can customize that certificate of authenticity. So you can do all that very easily right there. And let me go through the others. We also give you a V card for each profile. So if we look up here, if I click on the ID next to Liam, my grandson, this is the ID card that was created automatically. So it's got a QR code linking to his portfolio page and whatever information you want to put on there. I can share this, I can download it, and then you can also customize that ID card in this section here. So that's what the ID looks like. If you want to customize it, you can put all the information together here. You can use a V card format, or you can use a CV format. You can change the orientation. You can have a frame or no frame, upload a profile picture. Again, all the information that you want to include in that V card, it's created automatically, and then you can share and control that. So all of that is done from within your control panel. So pretty easy. We talked about connecting your domain. You'll also be able to connect the domain you already own, so you don't have to search for a new domain. So if you already own a domain, you can connect that. We'll be adding some additional IP rights monitoring services, as I mentioned, that's coming soon, as well as the way to accept donations if you want to accept donations for any work of art. So that's how easy it is to set things up. Let me show you some examples of some other people who are already using ID.art besides just my grandson, who doesn't, he knows actually. He knows I'm doing this with his artwork. I have his explicit permission, the permission of a 9-year-old boy. So you can choose to have your profile listed in the community section of ID.art, which we're loading right now. There you go. So here's artists who are listed in the community. You can see how many artworks they have uploaded. Some have quite a few. Dina has 18 works of art. Jesus, who's a Miami-based painter, he has 41 works of art uploaded. You can follow the artist, so almost like you'll have a news feed like you would have on any social media channels. And we're going to be adding some additional social media features in the future. So if we look at one of the artists, let's look at Medina, who I mentioned earlier. This is Medina Kasimov, a very talented artist. Let's look at her profile. So again, here's all the information. Now you're seeing it. Before I was inside my own account, so I was looking at it from the control panel point of view. Now I'm looking at it from externally. So this is what a visitor to someone's profile would see. So you can set up your publicly available profile. So this can become your web page, with your domain name pointing to it. Right now, she's using the third level domain. So she customized it to be medina.id.art, but you could attach any domain name to that to point to your profile. So this becomes your online profile. You can connect your social networks. You've got your ID card that we showed before, the V card here, and all of the works of art. And you can see just by hovering over them, what's for sale, what's not for sale, price on request. So that's what we talked about earlier. So if you click on this image, this is a really good one to demonstrate. So this is a good example of this particular work of art, Igor, by Medina, because I mentioned before and showed you how you could upload multiple images. So this is the web page for this particular work of art, and it's got its own ID at id.art. So you could share that, as we talked about earlier. You could share it with the QR code, etc. But this is the work of art, right? But Medina also uploaded on that web page. So not only do you have the opportunity to have the description of the work of art, so the story behind it, and that's what's really important, because the value of a work of art or an object, a cultural object, really comes from the story behind it. And because each work of art at id.art has its own dedicated website, essentially, you can fill it up with the story. You can tell the story behind that work of art, right? So in this case, she can tell the story about the work of art, right? Here's all the object ID information that we uploaded before, we talked about. You can see all of it. And so not only a video, but here, if you look, we have, this is the work of art. We have sketches. Here's the back of the canvas. so you can see what the back of the canvas looks like. Here are the sketches that she did when she was creating it, right? So you can see the sketches, right? And then, of course, as you pointed out, there's a video. So you can see the video of her actually painting this. There's no better way to prove the provenance of a work of art than to show your sketches, to show the video, to show you actually creating that work of art, right? So all of that information can be stored for each one of your works of art on its own web page that you don't have to pay renewals for or anything at ID.art. You can customize the name of it. And again, I mentioned before, price on request in this case. It shows there's a certificate of authenticity. It shows that there are NFTs of this artwork. So if I click on the NFTs, I can go to choose to see them at OpenSea or Rarible. So if I go to OpenSea again, like we did before, you'll see here's the NFTs, and all that information is carried forward. You can do all the information from the ID.art is carried forward right to OpenSea, as we talked about. So if you want to sell that, you can do it right there. I mentioned that you can have price on request. So there's a contact form built in automatically. So if I'm interested in that work of art, I can send a message to the artist directly from here, price on request, or expressing my interest or making contact with the artist. So all of this stuff is built into ID.art. As you can see, very simple to use. Let me go back to the gallery, which is fun too. So you can also choose to have your works available in the public gallery. So here people can see works of art mixed together from different artists. So again, and you can see, again, this one's for sale, 1,200 euro, right, for this artist. Lots of great works here. This is a local Miami artist, Jesus Rojas. I've actually met Jesus. He's got quite a lot of artwork up on ID.art. And he's a traditional painter who actually minted his first ever NFT using ID.art and actually sold an NFT using ID.art. So he was able to merchandise. So this is that particular image for him. Again, you have all this information here. Set up, easy to use. Let me go to his profile too. See all of his work up through to his profile. So again, this is his website, right? Basically. And again, he customized the name. So it's jesusrojas.id.art. He could also point a second level domain to it if he wants. He's connected to other networks, his Instagram, his Facebook page there, obviously his bio. And here's all of his different works of art. Some are for sale, some are not for sale. Each one has its own dedicated web page, as we've seen. So it's a really great profile website, and you can see the status of each work of art. He's really a talented local Miami-based artist. And again, if you wanted to share this, I could easily share this with someone. I had discovered this great artist. Check him out. Everything's all built in. So that's a pretty comprehensive look at everything you can do with ID.art. I did want to show you one other thing. That's right. Here. So this is the certificate of authenticity for a work of art using one of our other platforms that we're going to be folding into ID.art. So you can see, let me just read here, it's loading. So this is actually a cool video where it's actually 8 individual videos that are put together as a single work of art that are designed to go in sync. It's actually quite a cool image by an artist from Azerbaijan. So if you scroll down and see all the information, obviously here's all the object ID information that we talked about. Same thing, we'll have the donate button. You can view the NFT, generate the certificate of authenticity. But here's what we're going to be adding to ID.art, the registry data history, right? So when you register something with ID.art, you're basically joining a global art registry. And then the history is all recorded here. So every time this changes hands, so if you go back to the beginning, you could see where he created it, right? What it was, the author. Then you can see when it was transferred to the gallery, right? And then you can see when it was purchased from the gallery by Ovi Kasimov, right? And now he's the owner now, and were he to sell it to someone else, that whole history will be captured here. So you can track that history. So that feature is coming to ID.art as well. exactly. And all of it. So really the idea behind .art is really we're the art registry, not just the .art registry, but we're the art registry where you can add any art object or any cultural object to this global art database simply by uploading it to id.art and adding all this information. And then as a reminder, if you're watching this recording or if you're here live today, remember that you can go to get.art and use the code Collaborative. And remember that's Collaborative, not Collaborative. And you can get your first year standard domain for free, or you can get 50% off premium domain. And remember, when you do that, not only are you supporting Collaborative, but you're supporting our art therapy initiative as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Jeff Sass. I'm the CMO of .art Registry. You can reach me at jeff@art.art anytime. I'm happy to answer any questions, and we hope that you'll try out id.art or our free portfolio website builder. Thank you.